please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome to Business Saturday. I'm Ritu Singh. Developing story of the day, the 11,400 crore rupee fraud at India's second largest Punjab National Bank is taking several twists and turns, and it's a story that has multiple threats, from investigative ones, regulatory ones, commercial ones, and several others. And to take us through more on the latest in that case, we're joined by both Utkarsh Chaturvedi and Timsy Jaipuria. Utkarsh, coming to you first, you've got a copy of the CBI FIR that has been filed. Take us through what is the latest in that.
So, this is the new FIR which was filed yesterday by CBI, and we have got the exclusive copy yesterday of this. And this clearly shows that first, all the scams which we are speaking about, all the LoUs, all of them were issued in the year 2017 itself. In fact, it is a matter of 90 days that all of these LoUs were issued to Gitanjali Gems. In fact, this is 3 companies of Gitanjali Gems, Jilly India, Nakshatra and Gitanjali Gems. All these 3 companies took LoUs and LCs worth of around 4,800 crore rupees. And more than that, the most important part which was revealed yesterday was the fact that all of this happened in the year 2017. So, the claims which we were speaking about, that the government was speaking about, this is a 2011 scam. At least when it comes to Mehul Choksi and Gitanjali Gems, it is very clear that the whole scam took place in the year 2017. We have the exclusive FIR copy. All these three companies went ahead and took LoUs and LCs within a period of 90 days across the globe. There, a lot of banks are named here: Axis Bank, Union Bank, you have Allahabad Bank. So clearly a lot of further detail, but the most important detail, Ritu, here was the timeline and how, in a manner of 60 days, somewhere around 4,800 crore rupees were taken out in the form of LoUs and LCs by Gitanjali Gems and the 3 companies.
All right, Utkarsh, thank you very much for that. Timsy is also with us. But Timsy, before I come to you, CNN News 18 has some breaking news on the PNB fraud. It says that PNB employees that were allegedly involved in the scam, CNN has more details on that. Let's cut across to them.
There has been an exposure earlier. That is something the PNB is not clearly aware of right now, which means they're not completely denying the fact there could be an exposure there, but the amount of it they're not sure of as of yet. And that is very important, because that means that the scope of the scam, which initially started off from the 260 crore, is now going beyond 11,400 crores. So that is something which needs to be looked into by the officials, and that's why officials feel that PNB has been economical with truth. And to find out who all are involved from PNB in this entire matter, they have arrested Gokulnath Shetty. He was the deputy manager then. He had retired in May 2017, and for last 5 days he was absconding. Now that his location has been found, he's been picked up and he'll be presented before the court by afternoon.
And Shubhaji, talking about the LoUs, Gokulnath Shetty has been accused of issuing the LoUs to Nirav Modi without any sanction form. So when we talk about these LoUs, the FIR that CNN News 18 has access shows that the LoUs were signed in 2017. So BJP is saying that it is a UPA era scam, and of course Congress is saying it's the other way around. So where does the truth lie in this?
Well, truth lies in digging further. Because what we are sure of right now, given the statement which is coming from PNB as well as from the FIRs of the CBI, 11,300 crore is the exposure which has happened in 2017. So the 2 FIRs are basically for the loss which has happened in 2017, if the scam was going on.
All right, that's the first arrest made in the Punjab National Bank fraud case. Gokulnath Shetty, the former retired employee of Punjab National Bank, responsible for fraudulently issuing those LoUs, now arrested. But Timsy, you've been with us. Thank you for waiting patiently. We understand the Finance Ministry has also submitted an action report to the Prime Minister's office. What are the highlights from this report?
Well, yes, as you rightly mentioned, a detailed action report last evening was submitted to the PMO, and the main highlight is the fact that all various investigative agencies, including SFIO, MCA, IT department, FIU, ED, and MEA all have got together and have submitted their views and their actions that they have taken in the fraud case. For example, IT department has submitted details that they have provisionally seized, to be precise, 29 properties, 105 bank accounts, and similarly, SFIO has been asked to probe, and the MCA has identified 150 shell companies through which the entire fraudulent transactions took place. They are further probing on it. Similarly, ED has submitted a detail of their seizure, their raids, etc., plus also how CBI has been registering cases and what all CBI has been doing. So all this entire detail has been mentioned in this detailed action report. And remember, Finance Secretary Hasmukh Adhia, he was chairing this group meeting where all the heads of these investigative agencies, be it CBDT chairman, CBEC chairman, DRI officials, SFIO officials, MCA officials, MEA representative, all were there. ED head, he was also there. FIU head, PK Mishra was also there. So all these people, they sat together, they submitted their details till now as to what has been seized, what all has been attached, how much worth of property has been seized, and what are the...
Right, Timsy. Right. Thank you very much, Timsy, for joining us. But let me go back to Utkarsh here. He has more details on some of the arrests that have been made in the Punjab National Bank fraud case. Utkarsh, take it away.
So Ritu, not only one but three arrests have taken place. Now both the PNB employees which were a part of the FIR, Gokulnath Shetty, as well as Manoj Kharat. Now remember that Manoj Kharat was tracked by the CBI, but there were reports that Gokulnath Shetty was missing. But now what we are picking up is that Gokulnath Shetty, the deputy manager, who is now retired, and Manoj Kharat, who is a single window operator. Now remember that these are the two main people who are being named by PNB in this whole FIR. And Mr. Hemant Bhatt. The third arrest is from the side of Nirav Modi. Hemant Bhatt is the authorized signatory of the Nirav Modi group of firms. Now these three have been arrested. These are the first three arrests in the whole case, and they will be produced today before the CBI special court. Now investigations obviously are on. Now remember that this is the starting a tip of the iceberg when it comes to investigations, because when we speak to our CBI sources, they do indicate that they don't believe that only two of these people were responsible for all the scams which we are speaking about. And in fact, they believe that they will be questioning the other PNB officials as well. But at this point of time, the first arrest happening in this case, three arrests here. As I said, Gokulnath Shetty, the deputy manager who's retired, Manoj Kharat, and one arrest from Nirav Modi. Now remember that when it comes to Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, both of them are not in the country, so getting them back will be a big issue. So all the information which the CBI will have to take will either be from both of these officials and also the authorized signatory which we are speaking about, Hemant Bhatt. What's important here is that both of these PNB officials will can give CBI more detail and further details about the fact that are they the only one, because one is a deputy manager and one is a single window operator. Now it becomes a bit difficult for to believe that only two of these people were there, but clearly the three arrests happening at this point of time in this case.
All right, Utkarsh, thank you very much for joining us in the latest, in the PNB fraud case, where three arrests, as Utkarsh was pointing out, have been made. Now, yesterday we told you that Network 18 has traced Nirav Modi to New York. CNN News 18, Salim Rizvi, is tracking Nirav Modi at his suspected hideout, the iconic JW Marriott in New York's Manhattan area. Here is a special report.
This is the historic, luxurious hotel in the Midtown Manhattan area where Nirav Modi is believed to be living. I'm in the lobby of JW Marriott. He's living here with his family. It has been reported that he comes out in and out of this building mainly during night time. He lives on the 36th floor, but naturally now the hotel management is not allowing to visit that floor or any part of this hotel other than the lobby. So we are still waiting and trying to get hold of, or at least catch a sight of Nirav Modi if he comes out.
That's the report from Manhattan, but we also have a special report from Antwerp in Belgium, where the tainted diamantaire Nirav Modi grew up. Sanjay Suri spoke to the local community there. Hear out what they have to say.
Antwerp has distanced itself from its supposed son, disowned him. The traders say that his way is not their way, that they do clean business. Some even boast of never having done business with him. The authorities in Antwerp tell us that all it did was outside of the Antwerp kind of business, that this was something he did individually, and they are very keen to dissociate that from business in Antwerp, even though all his life, all his career, he did business in diamonds and directly or indirectly out of Antwerp, not least through his father's diamond business, which is well established in Antwerp and continues, even if that might not now be business as usual.
Like I said, we'll continue our coverage on the PNB fraud. Let's revisit the top story of the day. The first 3 arrests have been made in the Punjab National Bank fraud case. Utkarsh Chaturvedi, who's been breaking that story, is still with us. And Utkarsh, welcome back again. Just take us through, the details of what you've picked up as far as these arrests that have been made today.
So remember that these two PNB officials have been named by PNB and were a part of the FIR. But what's more important here is that the CBI will get access to these officials, and then maybe we can really get to know that what has been the whole scam about and the modus operandi. Now remember that we have been speaking about that how a single window operator and a deputy manager who's now retired has been able to pull off this scam. Now PNB has obviously given us some details about it, but at times we really need more details of how were they really able to pull this off. Because remember, if you look at the whole details of the FIR, there were around 3 to 4. 1, 2, 3, around 7 banks right now. We're talking about 7 international banks. In fact, the fun fact is that when we speak about SBI Mauritius, in 10 days, around 33 times people from Gitanjali Gems went to SBI Mauritius office and have withdrawn money. So, how is it that this all happened in March? So what is more important is that, PNB officials can really tell us that how is it that they were really able to keep this under the wraps. And the whole theory of PNB, which says that it was the Nirav Modi official which came back to the bank asking for the same facility. Now, the fact that these people have been a part of the scam and this money has not been returned at somewhere around 4,000 crores. It really raises a lot of doubts in the whole theory which is being told to us at this point of time. And these PNB officials who are, the most important part, the most crucial part in this whole exercise, they can divulge a lot of details to CBI. So these are very important arrests, because the modus operandi is something which everybody has been asking, how is it that 2 officials were able to pull off? Now what will we get from them? How did they do this? Secondly, very important, that is there only these 2 people who are involved in it, or there are higher officials? And remember that, as I said, that our sources in CBI clearly indicate that they don't believe that it is only 2 people who have pulled this off, and they believe that they will be questioning further PNB officials. But with the arrest of these 2 people, now remember the CBI will be asking for the police custody for both of them, and that will be a very crucial time for CBI, because they will, give us very important details in this whole case. So clearly, very important is, in fact, the biggest CBI acted really late. If you look at this whole process, the FIR was filed somewhere around in 30th January. And now remember that these arrests are, we really don't know that these arrests are on the first FIR which is being filed or the second FIR, because the first FIR was filed in 30th January. So whether we can say that it took CBI too long to take these arrests, and the fact that Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, the 2 most important culprits in this whole case, or I must say accused in this whole case, are not in the country. So the only the second 2 important people in this whole case are these 2 people. So very important arrest at this point of time. We'll have to really see how the court proceedings go, and how much time does CBI get for them, because the CBI will go ahead and ask for police custody for both of them. And the kind of information they gave, as I said, 2 major points. One, the modus operandi, how did they really pull this off and kept it in the wraps? And secondly, the role of other people, if there any, in the PNB Bank.
All right, thank you so much, Utkarsh, for bringing us the latest in the PNB saga. Now, as Utkarsh was pointing out, The first arrests have been made in the Punjab National Bank fraud case. Of course, like Utkarsh was pointing out, we do not know if this is based on the first CBI FIR that was filed on the 31st of January or the CBI FIR that has been filed yesterday. But irrespective, 2 Punjab National Bank officials have been arrested, and Mr. Hemant Bhatt, the signatory for the Nirav Modi group of companies. Of course, as again Utkarsh was pointing out, the 2 main culprits in this case, that is Mr. Nirav Modi himself and Mr. Mehul Choksi of Gitanjali Gems, both of them out of the country, and no sign of CBI getting hold of them anytime soon. But on that note, focus to how trade panned out on Dalal Street on Friday. A solid start to the session gave way to a sharp slide in the afternoon. On Friday, the Sensex ended almost 300 points in the red, while the Nifty gave up the important 10,500 mark. The Nifty Bank as well as the Nifty Midcap 100 fell more than 1% in trade. This was the second consecutive day when both the indices dragged the overall markets down. In global market action, however, Wall Street closed slightly higher on Friday, extending its winning streak to 6 days in a row and posting strong weekly gains. Dow Jones closed over 19 points higher. The S&P 500 also ended marginally in the green. Now on to the big headline from the corporate space in the insolvency proceedings. Sources tell CNBC TV18 that Tata Steel has emerged as the highest bidder to buy out Bhushan Steel, the company that is currently undergoing insolvency proceedings. We understand that Tata Steel has offered over 40,000 crore rupees in a combined package to take over Bhushan Steel. This includes about 35,200 crore rupees as cash payment to the lenders, and this is to the financial creditors, and about 1,200 crore rupees to the operational creditors. We also understand that the other lead bidder as far as Bhushan Steel is concerned, that is the JSW and Piramal Consortium's offer, was a good 5,000 crore rupee lower than what Tata Steel had offered, and therefore banks will only now be negotiating with Tata Steel, and there could be a meeting of the lenders again to see if the offer can be revised. But as of now, Tata Steel clearly emerges as the lead bidder, and the COC will take a final call and then submit this takeover plan to the NCLT for clearance. Let's also now take a look at the top national stories that are making news at this hour. Congress President Rahul Gandhi has formed a 34-member steering committee to work for the upcoming plenary session. Rahul's new team is a mix of the old and the new guard. Ghulam Nabi Azad Chidambaram, A.K. Antony and Anand Sharma from the old guard will continue, while fresh faces such as those of Sushmita Dev, Gaurav Gogoi, Sachin Pilot, Randeep Surjewala have also been inducted in the new team. Tamil superstar Rajinikanth has expressed his disappointment on the Supreme Court's verdict on the Kaveri River water dispute case. He has urged the Tamil Nadu government to file a review petition. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani is in Delhi on his 3-day visit to India. Rouhani was accorded a ceremonial reception by President Ram Nath Kovind. PM Narendra Modi too was present to welcome the Iranian leader. The two leaders will now hold bilateral talks here. The Iranian president first visited Hyderabad yesterday before arriving in New Delhi. That's all we have on this edition of Business Saturday. Stay tuned to CNBC TV18 for all the latest news and updates.